Welcome to Building Success Series with Nick Ainis, author of Building Success, The Art of Real Estate Investing and Building Success. Start a business, grow a business. We're here to break down real estate investing, business growth, and making money. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real strategies from experts and insiders who have built success. If you're ready to level up and create wealth, you're in the right place. Let's go!
Wow. Isn't that amazing? What an intro.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good.
Are you ready to build success? This is episode 1 of Building Success Series.
That's all I dream about today. Building success.
You're going to give us some tips and tricks. You're going to tell us how you did it. I'm ready to learn, my friend.
Well, you know what? It's a constant evolution when you're trying to build success, build a business, and invest in real estate. It's always a challenge, and that's what we're here to talk about.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You're the man who knows. I'm here to learn.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm good. You know, there's a chaotic world amongst us, but you gotta look at the positives and look at how blessed you are, and you've got your family, people who love you, you got people who care. That's what I've been doing lately.
That's a good way to look at it. And when there's a lot of chaos, there's opportunities to spot opportunities when we're in trouble and whatever the case may be, right? Don't forget to get me on video, Mike.
I know, Nick, you got time to have some trust. This is episode 1 of Building Success Series, but we have recorded many episodes of your other podcast. I wanted to shout it out. Building Toronto Skyline. Have I not earned your trust yet that I'm recording video?
Yeah, well, of course I'm not worried about that at all. I just want to, you know what I'm saying, Mike. Come on.
You always got to be on top of it. That's how you became successful. You look at all the details and make sure everything's taken care of.
Well, it's always starts with a mindset, and it starts with something you want to, that energy, that idea that you want to grow, start a business, and that's and you know what, intertwined with my business because I'm in the construction industry and it's related to real estate. I have the best of both worlds. So not only do I get to invest in real estate, but I also get to grow a thriving construction business where we build multi-res condos, and it's pretty exciting. And I want to talk about this series and what it's all about and why I did it. And I also want to talk about the books that I just wrote, basically Building Success, The Art of Real Estate Investing, and Building Success, Start a Business, Grow a Business. I also, there's a method to all of my madness always. I also started the shared workspace in Owen Sound. Like I've got the Royal Rose project, which is one of my biggest real estate investments. Hopefully it'll be successful. And as part of that, I have a shared workspace that I called Incubator. And it's going to be a business incubator for locals in the area, anywhere in the Georgian Bay region. And we're going to teach them how to be entrepreneurs.
I love it. I love what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
All right. So this, just to set the table for the listenership, because, the first episode, people are like, what do we expect? So maybe a quick word on what should they expect from this series? And then what's the intention of this very first episode where we set the table?
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the vision behind the podcast. We're going to talk about a little bit about why I'm starting this in the first place. We're going to talk a little bit about the books, each book. We're going to highlight the key message in the books. We're going to talk a little bit about real estate investing, specifically opportunities for Canadians right now or to build housing. And we're going to talk about my journey in real estate investing and my journey in starting my own business and some advice. Maybe we're going to do some live coaching on you there today, Mike. Are you ready? Are you ready to be exposed?
Like I said in the intro.
Are you ready to be exposed?
Let's go.
So let's go. There's no music anymore, though. How'd you like that introduction?
Hyped me up, man. I'm ready to run through a wall right now.
Yeah, you know why I liked it? It was I picked that. There was another one I was thinking about using, but that one is, kind of gives you that feeling like, oh yeah, the black guys love money, right? Bling bling. Am I allowed to say that on there?
It's your show, man.
That's true.
I think all races love money. That's what I would say. All races love money.
What? You got to be with the brothers. They love the gold.
Let's go. When I hear those two words, that's going to become the Nick Ainis catchphrase. Let's go.
There we go. All right. Well, so we're ready. So let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
So I'm just going to we'll talk a little bit about, why am I starting this thing?
Yes. Why are you starting this series, Building Success podcast?
Well, first of all, it's an exciting topic, and people love to talk about, I think let's say the majority of people, we all want money. We want to be successful. We want to live a better life. I think we can all agree on that. Why do we want things in our lives? It's not necessarily, I want a material thing, but it's something that a reason is that first of all, you want to do something you love to do, whether that's investing or, starting a business. But also at the end of the day, you want to not worry about money anymore. And I think for yourself, for your family, and, if we can all get to that level, or at least if I can help some people get to that level, and even myself, I'm not necessarily exactly at that level as of yet, but, that's what I want to do. I want to really help people. And I enjoy talking about business. I enjoy talking about investing. I enjoy talking about being successful. Even myself, I'm trying to learn all the time. I'm getting coached as we speak for my business.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can't really coach someone unless you've been coached, right?
Well, I was going to say, who cuts the hair of the barber in town, right? Like, you need somebody to teach the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. So you can always learn. Don't be afraid to, even if you think you're good at something, don't be afraid that you can pick up a few more tricks to the trade and learn something. So that's a little bit about, what inspired me to start, is to help others. And I'm going to be honest with you. I did there's a lot of people doing this in the U.S. There's like really, prominent colored people. There's like, you can look at someone like Tony Robbins, or there's other people like Grant Cardone and JT Fox. There's some really successful Americans doing this. But I think they do it more about, it's more about a prestige, about money. It's about, I'm not really sure how much they're helping people, except helping themselves. So I'm not to knock anyone, but I actually went to one of these events once, and I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it.
That means it's a big number.
Well, I mean, it was a big number. And to be honest with you, there was some value that I did get out of it. But there's a lack of understanding about the individuals. So while I was there, there was some live coaching that was done on me, which was it was okay. I handled myself. But other people were brutalized.
Whoa.
And it wasn't very good. I don't think we need to do things like that. I think we need to do things the more Canadian way. We're here to be polite. If someone has a bad idea, we have to tell them. But we have to tell it in a very respectful way, and you want to be able to help someone. And if they have a good idea, if they're passionate about their idea, we can't change it on them. And I think that's what I saw when I was at one of these events, and it wasn't necessarily pretty. And we don't have too much of this in Canada. We have some of it in Canada, but I think we can, have more of it.
Well, I'm glad to hear. So you can educate without shaming, without belittling.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you won't be
do it in a very if someone has a bad idea, I think you have to say something. But there's ways of expressing some your thoughts and try not to impose it on other people. And I think that's the way I'd like to do it.
I'm glad to hear it because I don't want to be the victim of the shaming.
Well,
and
you're
the
going to be
belittling.
you're definitely going to get shamed.
All right, I'm ready.
No, even I wouldn't do that, but that's kind of that's the gist in a nutshell. And we're going to bring guests on the show, people who have real estate experience, people who have started a successful business. We're going to learn about that. We're going to learn about a lot of things in terms of building success through your life, and that means building success and also failing as well, because failure is part of your success. But the key is never ever give up on your dreams. Never give up, because you can always turn things around when there's a tough time. And right now in the condo business right now, as you know, and we've talked about many times, we've got a bad condo market, bad real estate, bad economy. We're heading into treacherous waters. So in terms of Canadian identity, and this is something that we can all relate with, because let's buckle up, because we're in for a rough ride. Maybe things are going to clear up very soon. Maybe there's a deal that's going to be made and everyone's going to forget about this. Hopefully that's going to be the case. But it was a real good opportunity to really do some introspection in terms of being Canadian and what it means to be Canadian. And also the most important thing is, why are we so vulnerable right now?
Right.
And I think it's because we've been too reliant on the United States, and we haven't been focusing enough on building Canada as an economic power, and we could have done that years ago. Now, it's water under the bridge, and there's an election coming up. People will vote for who they think will lead us into the next era. Hopefully they'll make the right choice, and we got to move on. But that's what the success is all about. You see, you have an area where you didn't do well, or something failed, or something's happening, and you have to cope with it or adapt. And that's what success is all about, in building success.
Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Yeah, always spot the opportunities, because right now, what I learned through all of this was there's so many opportunities for Canada, but we should have started 10, 20 years ago.
Right.
And so now it is what it is, and we have to do it now.
Well, Nick, like I always say, the best time to plant a tree 20 years ago, but the second best time to plant a tree, it's right now. Right
That's
now.
Right. That's the whole thing. You can
Let's
start
go.
a business now. You can invest in real estate now, and there's nothing wrong. Actually, when things are tough and when things are bad, that's probably the best time to start something.
Right. Buy low, sell high. I got that lesson as a young man.
So basically we're going to talk about real estate investing, business growth, financial success. Those are the key indicators. And we're also going to talk about my books, the podcast. We're going to talk about possibly courses and events that we may develop over the years. And this is just the beginning for this podcast. And, I do buildings. Every time I write a book, I can't say that I have a reason for everything. But building Toronto Skyline was just a goal about writing my first book, and I didn't have any other reasons for it afterwards. But then I developed the podcast idea, and that's something that I'm trying to do for my business, and it's good for my business. It's good to meet people. It's good to talk about the issues of the day. It's good for the audience, so I developed the podcast, and then I said, hey, you know what, let's look at some different topics to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with this idea of Building Success series. So now I've got this sort of book, but also, and then I develop a podcast, and then there's all sorts of other things that may flow through this, and I hope it's going to be successful.
So this podcast is for anybody who's looking to be successful in whatever venture they choose. That this is for entrepreneurs, anybody who's looking for some tips, some tricks, some ideas, and some guidance, some inspiration.
You got it.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's for everybody. Everybody. That's why, when I did Building Toronto Skyline, obviously it was a very narrow focus, and it's more related to people in the industry, but the general person may be interested in the condo industry and to hearing all about it. But this particular podcast that I have, it casts a very wide net because 99% of people either they want to do something or they don't want to do something. That's okay too. Maybe they just want to work for someone. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's not just about money either. It's what else is important for success. Your health and well-being. My grandmother used to say, "Without your health, you've got nothing." So
true. So true.
So that's what we're gonna like. And everybody measures success in different ways. One could measure it in terms of friends and family and health and happiness, and that's okay. But I love to do this, and we all want to make money. So let's do it.
Let's go, as we say on this program.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, kick us off, Nick. So that's a lot of ground we're going to cover in this first episode, but I'm ready to walk on this journey with you.
Yeah, sounds good. So I mean, like I said, today we've learned a little bit about why I'm starting this, the connection to the books. We talked a little bit about the vision and the themes and what we're going to be doing and what it's all about. And, let's talk about the books now. So real estate investing is a passion of mine. And, and I've done a little of it throughout my career. And I'm focused on it exclusively now. I have a big development project happening in Owen Sound, which is pretty exciting. And it's a very unique property as well. But I'm going to touch on some of the key points in each book and just outline some of the chapters and what they're all about. Obviously, when you're talking about real estate, we'll talk about real estate investing first. You've got, your building success and the investor mindset. That's what it's all about. It always starts with your mind, your mindset, your outlook, and and I guess everybody can grow that mindset at the end of the day. But everything starts with an idea. So whether I want to invest, before I started a business, I wanted to invest. I chose the stock market. Maybe that was good. Maybe that was bad. Looking in hindsight, probably I would have done more real estate investing because I would have definitely probably made a lot more money doing that. But I think if you want to invest, you're already showing signs that you're entrepreneurial in some kind of respect. Some people just don't have that risk tolerance. So there's people who will not invest. They go to the bank and they'll get a GIC,
right?
Because they're scared. They're scared. They don't want to take risks. They're worried about losing money. Like, first of all, that's what the investor mindset is all about. You got to be a little bit crazy.
Well, high risk, high reward.
Yeah, you have to take risks. That's what it's all about. So, I'm all about taking risks. I'm a risk taker. That's what I do. I'm very, very, I love taking risk. I'm, sometimes it's scary. Maybe early in my career, I was very sometimes nervous about it, but I always took risks. And as I grow and get older, I continuously take on new challenges and risks. So I'm not afraid to. You got to be afraid. You can't be afraid to lose. And I think that's the sort of mindset you need to put yourself in. Say, what happens if I lose? Well, you're going to keep going. It doesn't matter. So you're still going to have the same. If tomorrow you lost everything, you would wake up with the same dreams, same goals, same everything. Except it's going to be a bit of a rough road ahead. But you can't be afraid of that, and you can turn it around as well. So investor mindset really means that you got to prepare yourself for whatever endeavor, and that goes with real estate and starting a business, actually. So in the book,
am I allowed to ask
talk about
questions?
that.
Am I allowed to ask questions? I don't want to interfere.
No, you're not allowed to ask
Okay, because
questions.
I have a question.
Of course you're allowed to ask
Okay,
questions.
then-
That's the whole point.
Toronto Mike here, your co-host. I would just ask about that. So what you're describing, I'm listening to your words, and I'm like, yeah, you got to go for it. You got to take the high risk. But is that, and this might be a no-brainer, but is that something like when you're a single person and the only person you got to feed, the only person you got to house is yourself, easier to take risks than when you start a family and then suddenly you realize, oh, I'm responsible for this family. I have children. You know, sometimes you can't afford to lose because it's not just you in that game. I'm just wondering your thoughts on taking the big risks when you're not,
that's
solo.
That's a good point, because I was solo for many years, and I put myself in a position where if I lost something, really, I just start up something tomorrow.
It's just Nick.
So it's just Nick, yes. So yes, there's an element to that. However, you can protect yourself against something that could go wrong. For example, put the house in your wife's name. Protect yourself in terms of things that you're going to lose. So if you lose anything, maybe it's just an income for a little while.
Right.
So you have to be able to sort of say, hey, I got kids, I got a family, I've got to look after them. I am nervous about this, but at the same time, we're all going to live and we're going to die. And we have one chance at this.
Right.
So if you don't live life to its fullest, then you're not really living.
For a moment, I thought you were going to break into Eminem, lose yourself, right? You only get one shot, one chance.
Well, I wasn't really going to quote him, but...
But inspiring me. Keep going, Nick, because I'm starting to think in my mind that I got to take more risks.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But in the book, we talk a little bit about the real estate market cycle, and the cycle starts with the recovery, expansion, hypersupply, and recession. It teaches you in terms of looking out for economic indicators like employment rates, interest rates, and GDP to time your real estate purchases and investments. So, and you have to be flexible, and you have to be adaptive, and you have to look out for risk and market conditions. So, we get into a little bit of the market cycles. We also get into investment strategies overviews in terms of direct and indirect types of investing in real estate. So if you don't want to, manage the whole real estate investment process, if you don't want to directly invest in real estate, let me just tell you the difference between the two. So I could either, buy a house, flip it, or rent it, or do all those kinds of things. That's kind of more direct investing. And then the indirect is maybe I want to just invest in REITs, or I just want to give my money to someone who's in, developing real estate or investing in real estate, so that I make the money, I invest in a project, but I get my money back. And but I don't have to go through I got another job, and I want to focus on that. Maybe I got another business. So I just outlined the difference between the different types of investment options. And so what are they? You can buy, hold real estate. You can rent it out. You can rent real estate. And that's kind of, where we're at in Toronto right now. There's a big push on rental because the condo market is dead. So we still need housing for people. So there's this missing middle that I want to talk about, because maybe that's going to be more of a focus on our show. The smaller projects that are more obtainable for people, and I think that's a good thing for the audience. We're going to talk about that. You can flip a house too. So you buy a house, you renovate it. Maybe you add some square footage to the property. You add some features that make it more desirable, increase the value of the property, and that's I've had a lot of friends who did stuff like that. And you can invest in commercial properties. That's another thing that we talk about in the book. And then you get into more sophisticated ways of investing in real estate, is developing real estate. So it could be a raw piece of land and you're improving the property. It could be an existing building where you're increasing the density. So what you want is the highest and best use for that property. But that involves a very intricate process. Those are things that I'm involved with every day.
That's what you're doing in Owen Sound, right?
And that's what we're doing in Owen Sound too. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So basically, I bought a building that was basically not usable anymore. It outlived its use. It was an old courthouse and jail, and the zoning for it was institutional, the use was institutional. And I changed the use. I made it like a mixed-use commercial property, entertainment venue, and I went through a long process, 2-3 year process, where I had to go for an official plan amendment, a zoning bylaw amendment, and then site plan approval. And now I'm in that financing stage. I'm submitting my building permit today, actually.
Wow. And
that's what real estate development is all about. Maybe I'm buying a small building on a lot, but I'm going to build a condo on that. So there's, that's a more sophisticated investment in terms of real estate. It's a business in itself too, and you can also invest indirectly, through crowdfunding, investment groups, limited partnerships. A lot of people are doing that. That's another example of indirect investing and in real estate. And it's pretty exciting because you get to participate in those major real estate development projects. And they can be smaller projects too. So there's nothing wrong with that as well. We talk a little bit about financing your investment. Excuse me for a second. Cut. Come on. Where's the sound effects? Okay, we don't want sound effects.
This isn't the morning zoo.
No, you don't have to cut nothing, okay?
Okay.
Just joking.
All right. You know what? I can never tell. You need to wink at me from now on when you're joking. A little wink.
No, I'm not winking. So we talk about doing due diligence, financing your investment, legal and tax implications of real estate, risk management, all those kinds of things are important. And another topic, again, is the missing middle housing crisis that we have in Toronto right now. And it's crucial that it ties directly into urban planning and affordability and sustainable development. And the missing middle basically refers to a range of multi-unit housing options like duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, fiveplex or sixplex or eightplex, townhouses, low-rise apartment buildings, and garden suites, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's going to be very interesting. I think people, there's a lot of new bylaws in Toronto being pushed right now. It's probably even, I think the council has already approved housing concepts like this, and to sort of promote the missing middle type of housing. And we hope that a lot of people are going to be interested in this. So that's a little bit about that book.
Okay, fantastic. Great primer. And again, remind people, name of the book and how they get it.
So it's Building Success, The Art of Real Estate Investing, and it's on Amazon.ca.
Okay.
So everybody should be buying it as we speak, or you're going to miss out on life and happiness.
And it's a great supplement to this very podcast. So you read the book, you follow and subscribe to this podcast, and you're going to learn. Like I can tell you, and we'll get to me in a moment, but I'm hearing your words and I'm taking them very seriously, which is, Mike, you're too conservative with your investing. You're too afraid to lose.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised that, it may not be as big a risk as you think it is.
Okay. Now you're talking my language.
Yeah. I want 50%, by the way.
I was going to give you 60, but okay.
All right, I'll take 40. Okay, so that's the one book. So like we're going to talk about investing. The basis of the whole purpose was to write the books and to create the podcast and do all that kind of stuff. And so the next book that I'm going to talk about is Building Success, Start a Business, Grow a Business. And again, always on the first chapter, I basically talk about the mindset of success in embracing entrepreneurship. So, starting a business is all about, When I was young, I guess I just had the dreams of starting a business without knowing all the headaches that came across with it. And sometimes that dream can turn into a nightmare. So it can get scary sometimes, very scary. You could get in all sorts of trouble. You can get into debt. You can, lose again in many ways, shapes, and forms. There's a lot of risk when it comes to starting a business, but there could be a lot of positive things that happen as a result. And I think you got to be prepared. Like, I had a mentor of mine. I was talking. I was working and he was working. I came in on Saturdays, and I said, "Hey, what are we working on Saturday for?" I go, "You got to have a balanced lifestyle." And he told me, he goes, "You know what, Nick? Fuck balance." And, I'm not exactly, going to say that that's a good thing. You do need to enjoy your life. Obviously, if you're just work, what is the point? But you got to love to work if you want to be successful in a business. You got to work at it constantly. Being an entrepreneurial, very entrepreneurial. I work on Fusion Corp all week and FC Entertainment. But at night and over the weekends, I'm working on other things. I'm working on my books. I'm working on new ideas. I'm always thinking about a new venture that I could possibly do. But I try to stop myself because, I want it to be very focused. I don't want to... I'm getting my hands in here because, Gavin Newsom has some hand thing going. But I want to... People probably don't even know what the hell that means. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, he's the California. He's got his own new podcast.
Got his own podcast.
Yeah, I know.
They're
I know
making fun of his hands.
I'm a man of the world, Nick.
I know you are. So, what was my point? Yeah, so I want to be very I want to be very focused. So it has to be related to something that I'm doing.
Like, I just assumed, knowing you as well as I know you, Nick, that you work hard but you play hard. But it sounds like if you love what you do, you're never working a day in your life.
Yeah, you're never really working a day in your life. You're loving what you do. It gives you energy. You wake up and you want to go to work. It's not the opposite. Right. Oh, I got to go to work. I know you love what you do, for sure.
Does your wife love that you're always working?
Yes, she's very supportive of it.
And if she was less supportive, it would be an issue, right? You would have to reevaluate your priorities.
Yeah, I'd have to reevaluate my marriage.
I know you're madly in love, so I know there's a wink there. Well, you need to wink at me.
I'm not winking. But yeah, she's amazing. She's very supportive. Your spouse has to support you in your ventures. That's why she's part of my business in many aspects. Right.
Smart. Fold her, bring her into the enterprise.
Well, I bring the whole family. I brought the whole family in. I brought my cousin. I brought my sister. It's a family business.
Is that smart though to do business with family?
Not always, no. Because it's hard to fire them.
And I remember what happened when Fredo was in the family business, and
Yeah.
You know what happened.
He's smart.
I'm smart.
I'm smart.
I love that scene.
That's a great scene. He was a great actor, that guy.
Yeah. Well, he died very young.
Yeah, he died,
as you know.
Yeah,
he was in a lot of great movies. The Deer Hunter.
Yeah, great movie as well.
Serpico. He's in Serpico, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he Godfather 1, Godfather 2. Yeah.
He was the love of Meryl Streep's life.
I knew this fun fact. I was wondering if you were going to go there. Yeah, he was dating Meryl Streep, who's also in The Deer Hunter.
Who we all love. Meryl Streep, we all love.
Well, listen, you're the Meryl Streep of podcasting, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
When I do that, and I've been doing that on my show, I've been doing that. As far as I'm concerned, like I do it like that. And I'm imitating there. Maybe he's a hero of yours, but Don Cherry used to say that on Coach's Corner. Like, he would make his point at the end. He goes, and that's the way it is, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well,
so shout out to Don Cherry, still with us at 91, I think.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Too bad he's still not around.
Well, he's around. He's just not on.
Yeah, but
TV.
They should have got rid of him.
He's not Rogers friendly. Like you are.
They should have got.
Actually, you remind me a bit of Don Cherry, that he's not Rogers, it's, what they're looking for. It's not a Don Cherry because Don Cherry is too interesting. He's too much of a character. I feel like you're too interesting, too much of a character for these cable conglomerates.
Oh,
because they don't like to take risks. You're talking, it folds into what we're discussing, which is you're saying you got to take a risk to get a high reward. Well, these cable companies are risk adverse.
well, that's their choice.
Yes, that's why people are listening to podcasts and on YouTube instead.
Yeah, because they don't want to, offend anyone.
Well, that's where Nick is.
Well, no, I listen. At the end of the day, I'm not offensive. I never offend anyone.
Well, it's still early. We haven't wrapped up yet.
Okay. Ready to get that going. Anyways, back to the mindset. You got to be, a total risk taker. You got to work hard. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 9 to fucking midnight job, or 7 to midnight.
Right.
And you've got to put in the hours. But at the end of the day, why do I do other things on the weekend? Because you know what, I get. I don't want to just focus on Fusion Corp. Okay.
Diversify your portfolio.
Yeah, you have to. That's exactly it. So I'm diversifying, but I'm still very focused. I'm in my industry. I'm talking about things that are related to my industry. Even this podcast is related to my industry, real estate investing, but also entrepreneurship. So on some of the other chapters, we talk about starting your entrepreneurial journey, how to be an effective leader, legal considerations, sales and marketing strategies that deliver results.
People should buy this book.
Understanding your competition, being financially savvy and building your wealth and stability. And as a business, you also want to innovate at all times. Innovate and look for continuous improvement. If I look at my business, where I started and where I am now, it's a big difference. We're much more of a professional construction company. Back then, it was just, maybe 3 or 4 people starting the business. I was a project manager, so whenever I worked on a project, of course, it was always successful. The clients made money, and, that's what it's all about. And so you have this progression of your business where it's growing and growing and growing, and you're looking for continuous improvement. Is Fusion Corp where I thought it would be? I think it's in a good place. But at the same time, it's had its problems over the years. And is it I'm happy where I am in the business to some degree because we get great jobs. But I'm not as happy with the sort of total success of the company. We should have been making more money. We should have had better projects. So they're tough to come by. It's tough to get a client these days, and a good one. So you're always looking for that continuous improvement to the point of this day that I'm getting coached. I've got a amazing business coach out of Vancouver, and who was involved in the Olympics and some major corporations, oil corporations. And I'm not going to name names or anything like that today, but I'm getting coached because I think it's important. If you want to be a coach, you've got to get coached.
Well, you can't stop learning. When you stop learning, it's time to exit stage right. Always
exactly.
Continuous improvement, continual learning.
Yeah, you want to master the art of living. That's what I call it.
Wow.
It's like a Zen concept.
I told you when I said let's go, and I heard that theme music, I was ready to run through a wall, but you're inspiring the F out of me right now.
Well, that doesn't say much.
See, there it is. I got to take a note. First, you belittled me.
Cut that out.
My first edit.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, I hope I can inspire people and encourage people. That's what it's all about. I can nudge people to take that step, and that's important for me, and it's important for that success. And then we talk, after that, you want to scale your business. There's this whole thing about scaling. You've heard that word. It's a big catchphrase, and in the industry right now. So it's scaling your business is important. You want to take your business to the next. Basically means taking your business to the next level. So will I be able to do that in the next 10 years? I would hope we can do that. You know, I'm in my early 50s right now. I want to take that Fusion Corp to the next level. I want to see FCM Entertainment and hospitality succeed. And, you know, I have some other ventures that I hope are also successful, including Nick Ainis Enterprises and so on and so forth. So whatever I can do to be successful and to be in a better place in the next 10 years, that's what I'm looking for. And you also want to create, you know, it's like back to the art of living. You have a happy family, you've got money, you're enjoying your life, you're putting yourselves in a position to enjoy your life a little bit more. It's all about building that perfect lifestyle.
And you mentioned earlier the D word, diversify, and I think it's so important because you put all your eggs in one basket, and there are external forces beyond your control. Like, you can control so many things, and there are some things you can't control. And this was an episode I listened very closely to, Building Toronto Skyline, which is another podcast people should subscribe to right away to get more.
Right now.
Pause, subscribe, come back. Welcome back. Okay. But I learned on that podcast, one of your fine guests was talking about the triple, what is it? The third strike, the triple
Third
hit.
strike.
Third strike. So we had, yes.
One space.
Right. COVID-19, strike one. Inflation, strike two. Now this trade war and the tariffs, strike three. So these are external factors you may not have control over, but if you diversify, then these external factors cannot crush your dreams.
Yes, that's right. And, you know, like I said, remember I told you about the beginning about Canada and how we found ourselves in a situation where we were not ready.
Right.
And we learned something about ourselves, that we were not diversified enough. And so the whole thing comes into play here. And you discover that you're not diversified. So I find that with Fusion Corp. I'm very heavily invested in multi-residential construction, condo industry in particular. You know, but I've created some other businesses, but they're not ready yet. They're just still in its incubation stage. They're being developed. But I am poised to be a little bit more diversified, which is good. And I'm not going to get into anything else, but
it's a teaser. It's a teaser, and I'm again on air meeting
and
here.
Even Fusion Corp, we are trying to diversify a little bit in terms of some of the types of construction that we're doing into other sectors of construction, like you know, medical and commercial and hospitality, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. What do you think about saving? I know you were going to chat me up, but maybe we save that for the next episode, and maybe, and again, you're the
live
host.
Coaching,
right? Because I feel what you've done here in just the last 45 minutes is you have brilliantly set the table as to what we can expect from this podcast, and people now are basically, you've whet their appetite and they're ready for more nuggets of gold here. But I'm basically, because now I'm worried if I start the music now and you're like, Mike, I'm just warming up
here.
here.
What are you talking about?
Well,
okay, we don't have to coach live, but let's.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me. You're the boss.
You're closing me out.
Well, not, I was wondering in this on-air meeting whether.
How long has it been? Is it an hour yet?
50 minutes.
Okay, I still got 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's not.
Closing me out. Look at this guy. You see?
Did you hear the music, Nick? Did you hear the music? Because we're doing music live for this program.
I'm doing a Google review on you.
No, you wouldn't dare.
No, I mean, listen, we'll talk about anything you want to, but I think we've gone into the books. We've talked a little bit about what this podcast is going to be, talked about my inspiration. And, we're going to learn the journey of investing in real estate and also lessons learned from starting a business and growing a business. And I hope to give a lot of advice to investors and entrepreneurs.
Let's go, Nick. This is episode 1. Tell your friends, tell everybody, subscribe to Building Success series with Nick Ainis. You'll learn a great deal and you'll be inspired. Nick, you're inspiring me, and we'll dive into that in a further episode. But I love this podcast idea, and I love hearing your words of wisdom, buddy.
Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure. You did cut me off, though, eh?
Well, I could always bring down the music. Is it important? You want to?
No, we're good. No, I think we're good. That's a wrap, Mike.
Thank you for listening to Building Success series with Nick Ainis. a podcast breaking down real estate investing, business growth, and making money. Proudly brought to you by Nick Ainis Enterprises. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you again in 2 weeks.
Yo.